Why, hi there, I'm Ron Juckett, and welcome to a Retro Sports Network Classic. Today, this second day of October 2018, marks the 40th anniversary of one of the most important games in Major League Baseball history, the 1978 one-game playoff between the Boston Red Sox and New York Yankees. The first of this series, we're going to take a look over the next few weeks, or when time permits, to take a closer look at some of the greatest games, matchups, and whatever in sports history. And so we start with this one between these two hated rivals. The Boston Red Sox led the New York Yankees in mid-July by 14 games. The Yankees weren't even in second place. They were in third, behind the Milwaukee Brewers. The Yankees fired Billy Martin, who won them their first World Series in 1977 in nearly a generation, and brought in Bob Lemon to run the team. And Lemon did what Martin could not. He gelled the team together, and they took right off. By the start of September, the Yankees and Red Sox met for 6 games, 3 at Yankee Stadium and 3 at Fenway Park, and they slaughtered them. It was called the Boston Massacre. They scored 55 runs in those games. And whatever shallow lead the Red Sox had was virtually gone. By the middle of September, the Yankees were in first place. The Red Sox had to win 8 in the last 8 games of the season just to force a playoff. The Yankees had won 7 of their last 8 just to hold on by 1 game. If the Yankees had won on the last day of the year, they would be beating the Kansas City Royals for the American League Championship Series. They did not. They lost to the Cleveland Indians early, and so this sets up a 1-game playoff between the Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. Now, this game has deep personal meaning to me because 1978 was the year that baseball kind of clicked. I turned 7 that November, so I'm 6 when this game was being played. But because of a comedy of errors through some personal life experiences, I'm in the 3rd grade for this game at 6 years old. I got into a fight with a Yankee fan. I said the Yankees rot because Suck would get you kept after school. And guess what? We got kept after school till 10 after 3. So I missed the first inning of this classic. But you're not going to miss anything, as the Yankees and the Red Sox will play from Fenway Park on October 2nd, 1978. The winner goes to the American League Championship Series, and the loser with 99 wins goes home. Well, it's only taken us 3 takes and an overheated processor to get to this point, but this is Fenway Park on the second day of October 1978. It's a gorgeous day in the Fenway. 63 degrees, wind blowing out to left at 15 miles an hour. Perfect from a fly ball from a crap. It's a beautiful day for baseball. On the mound on this day for the Boston Red Sox is Mike Torres, who was their opening day starter. Dennis Eckersley pitched Saturday, and part of the Red Sox push to get them into this 1-game playoff. And so Torres comes into this game, well, with all his final stats of the year, with a 16-13 record, including what happened on this Monday afternoon. With a 3.96 ERA, 250 innings, 272 hits, including 19 home runs. He walked 99 and struck out 120. And this is a lineup that he will be facing. Mickey Rivers will lead it off for the Yankees and play center field. Thurman Munson is the catcher. He'll bat second. Lou Piniella is in right, and he'll bat third. Reggie Jackson will be the DH and clean up. Craig Nettles is at third, and he'll bat fifth. Chris Chambliss is the first baseman. He'll bat sixth. Roy White, left fielder, will bat seventh. Brian Doyle is the second baseman, not Willie Randolph. Willie Randolph had suffered a major injury in the middle of September, and it was Brian Doyle who played second throughout the playoffs and the World Series, and he who must not be named is a shortstop. Now, that's Bucky Dent for you Yankee fans. And on the mound for New York, of course, is Ron Guidry. Defensively for the Red Sox, Jack Brohammer is at third, which is a good thing, because Butch Hobson cannot play defense at third whatsoever. Brohammer is an average third baseman. Rick Burleson is a short. He is a 9 out of 10 defensively. Jerry Remy's at second. He would lead the team in steals with 30. He's a 6 at second. George Scott, the Boomer, is a 9 of 10 at first. In the outfield, Carl Yastrzemski's in left. He's 9 range and a 6 arm. Fred Lynn is a 10 range in center and a 6 arm. And yes, Jim Rice is in right field because Dwight Evans is hurt. He did not play in this game. It was Rice and Wright, a 4 range and a 6 arm. And of course, Carlton Fisk behind the plate. So Mickey Rivers steps in the box at 265, 11 homers and 48 RBI. So let's see what happens when you get a chance to replay some history. Torres delivers, and that's a ground ball at the middle. Remy has it over to Scott, and that's how this one starts. 1 out for Thurman Munson. Thurman, this would unfortunately be his last full year, and what a year it was. A 297 average, 6 home runs and 71 RBI. He and Carlton Fisk were such intense rivals. I don't think they were ever friends. And of course, you know Munson's story. In the next summer, the summer of '79, he would crash his jet doing practice takeoff and landings in his hometown of Akron, Ohio. And so he never had the chance to mellow and take in the full admiration that he certainly had earned from not only Yankee fans, but baseball fans from around the world. Pitch from Torres is a fly ball to center. Lynn will come in, and that's the second out. So 2 quick outs for Torres, who can throw 130 pitches. He's thrown 5 in the Rivers and Munson. And here's Piniella. Piniella at 314 with 6 homers and 69 RBI. He would lose a ball in this game in right field because the sun is so tough this time of year. But a good hitter. Pitch from Torres is a ground ball to third. Brohammer over to Scott, and that's the inning. After half an inning, the Yankees, nothing, the Red Sox coming to bed. If it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all here. I get the microphone changed. There. That should give you a better sound. Made the game louder too. All right, so here's Ron Guidry. He pitched this game. As I told you before, the Yankees had to win out to avoid a playoff, and they couldn't do it in their last 8. They lost the Sunday game. So Ron Guidry somehow was being held in reserve for either Game 1 against the Kansas City Royals or Game 163 against the Boston Red Sox. And surprise, it's 163 against the Red Sox. And he had a year for the ages in 1978. He was the American League Cy Young Award winner because he went 25-3. In 272 and 2/3 innings, he allowed 187 hits, including 13 home runs. He walked 72 and struck out 248, and that was a big, big deal. His ERA was 174. That's how you win awards. He was also top 5 for MVP. The lineup he will face is Rick Burleson at short to lead off. Jerry Remy will bat second. Jim Rice hits third. The captain, Carl Yastrzemski, will clean up. Carlton Fisk will bat fifth. Freddie Lynn bats sixth. Butch Hobson is the DH. He'll bat seventh. The Boomer, George Scott, will hit eighth. And Jack Brohammer, the third baseman, bats ninth. Defensively around Guidry, it's a good bunch. Greg Nettles is at third. He's at 10. And he single-handedly pretty much beat the Dodgers in the '78 World Series because he kept stopping runs with his glove. The only other one I remember possibly winning a World Series single-handedly with his defense at third I mean, Brooks Robinson in 70 was before my time. It was probably Paul Konerko in 2005 with the White Sox. Lord Voldemort is at short. Bucky is a 6 glove out of 10. Brian Doyle, not a bad glove. He can't hit at all, but as a glove, he's a 5 out of 10. And Chris Chambliss is a 10 at first. In the outfield, Royer White still has good range. He's a 7, but no arm. He's a 1. Mickey Rivers is in center, 8 range and a 5 arm. And Lou Piniella is a 5 range and a 2 arm. Reggie, who you don't want out there in a big game, is a DH. And so Burleson steps to the plate, hitting .248, 5 homers and 49 RBI. Guidry should go long enough to get to Goose Gossage. If the Yankees are ahead, that's a bad sign for the Red Sox. Guidry's pitch to Burleson is a ground ball to short. Dent to Chambliss, and that's how this one starts for the Red Sox. 1 pitch, 1 out. Remy's not going to bunt. .278, 2 homers and 44 RBI. As I said, 30 stolen bases from the Rem Dog. And the Fall River native hits a fly ball to deep right. Pinella's there, 2 out. Here is the American League MVP in 1978, Jim Rice. .315, 46 homers, 139 RBI. He had 400 total bases in 1978, including 15 triples. Pitch from Guidry. There's a fly ball to left. White will get under it, and that's the inning. No runs, no hits, and no errors. After 1, there's no score. So Mike Torres faces the straw that stirs the drink, Reggie Jackson. Jackson, .274, 27 homers, and 97 RBI. Torres signed with the Red Sox as a free agent in 1978. He pitched for the Yankees in the 77 World Series. I always thought he was a traitor. A spy. But what do I know? I was 6. So Reggie, if you figure somebody is going to make a mark in this game, it's going to be him. Torres delivers, and that's a base hit into left center field. He'll round first. The throw goes into Burleson, and that's the first base runner of the game. And now I'll bring up Greg Nettles. .276, 27 homers, and 93 RBI. Torres, Jackson's not going to steal, delivers, and he got him. He swung on a 1-2 fastball, and that's a strikeout. And so Torres, who might strike out 3 or 4 today, that's a big one. 1 out for Chambliss. Chris hit .274, 12 home runs and 90 RBI. Roy White on deck. Torres delivers. There goes Reggie. It's a hit and run, but it's fouled off to right field. Out of play. 3:02 down the line and right. 3:10 to left field. The count is a ball and a strike to Chambliss. Pitch from Torres. Ground ball to short. Burleson with the web jump. Can they get 2? Remy for 1. Scott for 2. Burleson just got into that dive and turned 2. And so the Yankees go down. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. After an inning and a half, there's still no score. So Fenway is all aflutter after that. And I'll bring up Carl Yastrzemski. Yaz at .277 in 78. 17 homers to 81 RBI. No, he was not the huge offensive influence that he certainly was in 67 and 75. But still a force to be reckoned with. Guidry threw 7 pitches in the first inning. This one is flown to center. Rivers will catch it, and there's 1 out. Carlton Fisk, the batter, Pudge at .284, 20 homers and 88 RBI. Also stole 7 bases. Guidry's delivery, fly ball to right center. Rivers is there, 2 out. So this is pretty much gone to script so far. Here's Freddie Lynn. Freddie hit .298 in 78, 22 home runs and 82 RBI. Win now out of left center. Away from the ocean, kind of coming down from the north. at 15 miles an hour. Guidry's pitch. There's a fly ball to right. Piniella comes in, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 2 in this playoff game, there is no score. So White, Doyle, and Dent. I don't know why Lemon batted Doyle 8th, because I think he hit 0-40. But we'll take it. So Guidry's thrown 20 pitches through 2, and Torres 19 through 2. So both pitchers on a roll. White at 269, 8 homers and 43 RBI. The pitch, there's a ground ball to third. Brohammer over to Scott, 1 out. Well, Doyle hit 192. I'm not sure he played in the majors after this. He might have. Oh, it's safe. Brohammer threw an error. So he threw it over the glove of Scott, and so White reaches on an E5, and that's exactly why Brohammer is in this game instead of Hobson. So what the Red Sox did not want to happen has happened, an E5. Anyway, back to Brian Doyle. He didn't play much after 78. Willie Randolph, of course, held down second base, and so there really wasn't any place for Doyle to play. But for this brief shining moment, he gets a chance to play. 192, no homers or RBIs on the real season. Torres delivers, and there's a ground ball to Brohammer. He throws to Remy for 1, over to Scott, and that is not in time. So it's a fielder's choice, 5-4, and 1 out for Bucky Dent. We've hit 243. I'd like to say 4 homers, but we know that the 5th came in the real game. And 40 RBI. A punch-and-Judy hitter who could play a decent shortstop. Not as good as Burleson. And, of course, forever lives in the lore of both New York and Boston for very different reasons. Torres delivers. Doyle goes. He goes, and they got him. Doyle only had a 23% chance of stealing the base, and Fisk just kind of fired a strike down there for the out. So 2 out, and nobody on for Dent, and an 0-1 count. Torres pitch. Short shubber to Remy, over to Scott, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits in the air, which doesn't hurt the Red Sox after 2.5. The Yankees nothing, the Red Sox nothing. A shubber to Remy, huh? I guess a clubber to Remy is what I was trying to say. So Hobson, Scott, and Brohammer for the Red Sox here in the 3rd against Guidry. Torres in great shape, only 28 pitches. Guidry's at 20. Hobson hit 250 with 17 homers and 80 RBI, but note the strikeout total, 122. That's a lot for 1978. And Guidry's pitch is a liner in the left field that's going to drop for a base hit. Hobson will round first and hold, and so the Red Sox have their first hit of the ballgame. For George Scott, the boomer, not wearing a helmet. Red Sox, by the way, wore those red hats with the blue B and the blue bill on the cap and those white pullovers. They did not wear the button-up, and so there's no stripe in the middle like there is today. How 1970s. And then the Yankees are in their traditional road gray. New York in blue, outlined in white. That happened in 73. They started wearing those. So the last year at the original stadium. And you know their hat. Scott hit 233 in 78, 12 homers and 54 RBI. Guidry's pitch struck him out. An 0-2 pitch, strike 3 called. A 99-mile-an-hour fastball from Guidry. And there's 1 out for Brohammer. Brohammer hit 234, 1 homer and 25 RBI in limited duty. Pitch from Guidry. There's a ground ball, base hit right side. Doyle did not make the play. Hobson will hold at second. So first and second for Burleson. Guidry, 2 hits and 2 1/3 innings, and a strikeout for his first 9 batters and 25 pitches. He can go 135. Burleson grounded to short in the first. He played with the intensity of a bag of broken glass. He just never started off and always played angry. And now he's got a chance to do some damage for the Red Sox early. Guidry's pitch. Ground ball to Dent. This could be two. Doyle for one over to Chambliss. In time. Call it two. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. After 3, the Yankees nothing, the Red Sox nothing. And so Mickey Rivers will face Torres. Torres, 3 innings, 1 hit, and 1 strikeout. And the 1 hit, the error by blah, blah, blah. Doyle reached on an error and was thrown out trying to steal. I believe Jackson was erased on a double play. So efficient was Torres his first time through. Rivers is 0 for 1. And heel ground ball right side for a base hit between Remy and Scott. And so that's the second hit for New York, and the leadoff runner is on here to start the 4th inning. Here's Thurman Munson. Thurman is 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. And that will drop in for a base hit into right field. Rice will pick it up on a hop. And the Yankees are in business. Runners on first and second for Lou Piniella. So Torres, couple breaking balls that didn't break as much. And the Yankees are in business here in the 4th. Here's the pitch. There's a ground fly ball that will drop into left center. Rivers will score. Munson goes to third. Piniella has a single. And the Yankees get first blood, 1-0. And now you got Reggie Jackson to deal with. The DH is 1 for 1. He singled his first time up. Torres is ready. Snap throw down to first, and Piniella is thrown out. Fisk had the wherewithal to see Piniella had stepped off the bag too far, and they got him for a huge out. So 1 on and 1 out. Munson on third. And again, Jackson with a chance to bring him home and add to the Yankee lead. Pitch from Torres. Ground ball up the middle. It's Remy. They throw to Scott to get the run. Her at first. Munson will score, and it's 2-0, but there's 2 out. So you make that trade early. And with the Red Sox offense being as powerful as it is, even with Guidry on the mound, you know the Red Sox should have chances. Here's Nettles. He struck out his first time up. Torres is only a strikeout victim of the game. Here's the pitch. Got him again on the outside corner. Strike 3. So that's the inning, not before the Yankees get 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. After 3.5, it's the Yankees 2, the Red Sox 0. Remy, Rice, and Yastrzemski for the Sox here in the 4th. A drink of water for me. As Remy steps in, he's 0 for 1. Pitch from Guidry. Struck him out. Remy swung on and missed a changeup. That's the second for Guidry. And they'll bring up Rice. Jim is 0 for 1. Pitch from Guidry. There's a liner in the right center. Rice is on with a single. Rolled between Dent and Doyle, and the Red Sox had the tying run up in Yastrzemski. Boy, does that sound way too familiar. Yastrzemski's 0 for 1. Rice is not a threat to steal yet. Pitch to Carl is a fly ball to right. Piniella corrals it, and that's the second out. 2 out for Fisk, who was 0 for 1. And Guidry, despite the 3 hits, has not faced a serious threat. Pitch from Guidry. There's a ground ball up the middle. Dent has it. He'll flip it to Doyle to retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors. After 4, the Yankees 2, the Red Sox 0. Excuse me. The last playoff tie-breaking game before this in the American League was played right here at Fenway Park, nearly 30 years to the day earlier. In 1948, Cleveland and the Red Sox finished the 154 game American League season all knotted up, and they traveled to Boston for the one-game playoff. The winner would face the Boston Braves in the World Series. The Red Sox did what the Red Sox did and lost, and so it was the Indians who beat the Red Sox and then would beat the Braves in 6 for their last World Series championship. It'll be Chambliss, White, and Doyle here in the 5th. Chambliss is 0 for 1. He's the one that grinded into a double play. Torres has pitched. There's a ground ball to Brohammer over to first. And that's an out. Now bring up White. He's 0 for 1. Torres has been efficient. He's only thrown 45 pitches. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. A 1-2 curve on the outside corner. Got him looking. So that's the 3rd for Torres. And once again, here's Brian Doyle. He reached on the Brohammer error and then was out trying to steal. The pitch from Torres is a ground ball back to the pitcher. Over to Scott, and that retires the side. No! It was a bad throw and drew Scott off the bag. So Doyle has reached on an error twice. Let's see if he tries to steal. Not. And this brings up Dent. Bucky's 0 for 1. He came over. You see him in the White Sox hat. He came over in a trade. I forget who was traded to Chicago. But the other piece of that trade was Goose Gossage, I believe. Pitch to Dent. Doyle goes to throw down, and he's safe. So Doyle gets the stolen base. And it's an 0-1 count to Dent with 2 out. Pitch from Torres. There's a liner that's going to fall into left field. Doyle will score. It's 3-0 New York on the RBI single by Dent. And here's Mickey Rivers, 3rd time through the lineup now for the Yankees. There are 18 batters. Torres has only thrown 55 pitches, 4 2/3 innings, 5 hits and 3 strikeouts. And 2 earned runs. Rivers is 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. Pitch from Torres is a fly ball right center. Back goes Rice. He'll turn and watch it go. And it's 5-0 New York. And that'll do it for Torres. They don't have much choice. They got to go to the bullpen innings. Bob Stanley, he probably will not finish this game. Or he might. In real life, he threw 141 2/3 innings and went 15-2 with 10 saves out of the pen. With a 2.60 ERA. He allowed 142 hits, 5 homers, 34 walks, and 38 strikeouts. Grounder, grounder, grounder. If the Red Sox are going to win, he has to keep the ball on the ground. Thurman Munson is 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. And so Mickey Rivers, who would go to Texas after this year, is the big hero for the Yankees, at least for the moment. Stanley's first pitch is a liner in the right field. So Munson's on with a single, and that's not what the Red Sox needed. 7th hit for New York. And now you've given Ron Guidry 5 runs to work with. It's looking pretty bleak for the hometown team. Here's Piniella. Lou was 1 for 2 with a single and an RBI. Stanley's pitch, ground ball to third. Brohammer to Remy, and that retires the side. Not before Mickey Rivers hits a 2-run shot. The Yankees score 3 on 3 hits and another error. After halfway home, it's the Yankees 5, the Red Sox nothing. Lynn, Hobson, and Scott to face Guidry. Lynn is 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. A 95-mile-an-hour fastball swung on and missed. So Hobson's up. Butch is 1 for 1. He has a single. One of the 3 Red Sox hits of the game, and that's going to be a base hit in the left center. Hobson rounds first and will hold. So Hobson has Guidry's number. And that'll bring up George Scott, who struck out his first time up. Pitch from Guidry, and that's going to be a base hit up the middle. So Hobson will go to third. Scott will hold at first for Brohammer, and the Red Sox can at least get on the board with 1 out. If you're wondering, Brohammer did ground into 6 double plays. He singled his first time up. I believe he was part of that trade you seen with the Indians hat that brought him over with Dennis Eckersley. Rick Wise, I believe, was one of the people that went back to Cleveland. So Guidry in some trouble here in the 5th, but the Yankees have a 5-0 lead. Here's the pitch to Brohammer. Ground ball to first. Chambliss will try for 2. Over to Dent for 1. Over to first, not in time. In fact, there's no throw at all. Scott knocked down Dent on the roll play, and it's 5-1. So it brings up Burleson with 2 out. Rick is 0 for 2. He grounded into a double play. So through 18 batters, Guidry has only thrown 48 pitches. 4 2/3 innings, 5 hits. The run it was earned, and has 3 strikeouts. So the Red Sox are on the board. The pitch to Rick, and that's going to be a base hit in the left. White, that's going to be off the wall as a matter of fact. Brohammer is going to round third and try to score. Burleson's on his way to third. The throw to the home is not in time. Brohammer scores. So they take advantage of White's bad arm. Dent with a relay, and Brohammer scores. So the Yankees put 3 up in the 5th, and the Red Sox counter with 2. So it's a 5-2 game. Burleson ends up on third, and Jerry Remy, who struck out his last time up, is 0 for 2. Rice on deck. Pitch from Guidry. Struck him out. He swung on and missed. But the Red Sox at least have made this a game. 2 runs on 3 hits off of Louisiana Lightning and no errors. After 5, it's the Yankees 5, the Red Sox 2. And so Stanley will face Jackson, Nettles, and Chambliss. Here in the 6th, Reggie has an RBI single. Stanley's pitch. Ball 4, can't be doing that. So count was low and away. That brings up Nettles. Nettles struck out twice off Torres. And that's a ground ball to Remy. Flips to Burleson for 1. Over to Scott. Call it 2. Oh, that's big. And so Stanley gets the best friend. And they're 2 out. Nobody on for Chambliss. Rice, Yastrzemski, and Fisk will bat in the 6th for Boston. Chambliss. Ground ball to Remy. Over to Scott. And Stanley does his job. After 5.5, it's the Yankees 5, the Red Sox 2. So that will bring up Rice. Jim is 1 for 2. Guidry has to shake off what happened in the 5th. But this Red Sox, I mean, they both won 99 games coming into this thing. Not the Red Sox were going to roll over and play dead. Pitch from Guidry. Struck him out. A breaking ball and an 0-2 pitch is a called strike 3. So that's 5 for Guidry. And that'll bring up Yaz, who is 0 for 2. Pitch from Guidry. There's a fly ball to right. Piniella is there, 2 out. Alton Fisk the batter. Pudge is 0 for 2. You got to figure if Guidry can get 7 for the Yankees, it's Gossage that can get you 6 outs to close. In fact, if Guidry gives up another base runner at this point, I wouldn't be surprised. Fisk draws a walk. I guess I would be partially surprised since Guidry's pitch count is 69. but expect to see Gossage early if Guidry gets into trouble again. Freddie Lynn is 0 for 2. He is a strikeout on the dance card, and he hits a fly ball in the right, but Piniella will have it, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 6, it's the Yankees 5, the Red Sox 2. So White, Doyle, and Dent for the Yankees, and yes, Bucky did bat in the 7th inning of that game. But they're already leading, so it can't be too bad, right? Right, he says. All right. Roy White is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Stanley's pitch. Fly ball to center. Lynn will come in and make the catch for the out. Ryan Doyle is 0 for 2, but he's reached on 2 errors, one by Brohammer and one by Torres, and somehow stole a base. Baseball's a funny game. And that's going to be it for Doyle. Fred Stanley will pinch hit. So the Chicken hit .219 with a homer and 9 RBI. Here's the pitch from Stanley. Struck him out. He swung on and missed a changeup, and there's 2 out for Dent. Bucky does have a hit and RBI in this game. He had a run-scoring single as part of that 3-run barrage in the 5th. The homer came off of Torres in real life. Said, no, we're not going to pinch hit him. Ground ball to short. Burleson over to Scott, and that retires the side. Gary Thomason is not going to pinch hit for Bucky Dent in a game that made Bucky Dent famous, or infamous, depending on which side of the relationship you're on. So Fred Stanley is a 3 at second. He comes on. Guidry comes in to pitch for the bottom of the 7th. Hobson, Scott, and Brohammer against Ron. Butch is 2 for 2. He has 2 singles and a scored a run. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Yankees. They've stranded 1. I wonder how they won a World Series. The Red Sox, 2 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors, and they've stranded 4. You wonder how they didn't win a World Series. Pitch to Hobson is ball 4. So a full count, and he lost him low and away, and that'll bring up Scott, who is 1 for 2. He is singled and struck out. Guidry's pitch struck him out. He checked his swing on a 2-2 fastball, and it's a called strike 3. Don Denkinger, by the way, had the plate in this game. Jack Brohammer, 1 for 2 with an RBI. Part of that 2-run outburst in the 5th, and then they'll flip the lineup with Burleson, and if there's no double play, Remy. So Guidry's ready. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to short. Dent to Stanley for 1. Over to Chambliss. Call it 2. Hobson with a roll slide to take out Fred Stanley at second, but he still made the throw. So after 7, it's 5-2. Bob Stanley, has pitched well. 2 1/3 innings, 1 hit, a walk, and a strikeout in 42 pitches. He'll face Mickey Rivers, Thurman Munson, and Lou Piniella. Rivers would be the game MVP, I would think. He is 2 for 3. That big 2-run shot in the 5th has gave the Yankees a 5. At that point, a 5-0 lead. It's now 5-2. Rivers will ground 1 to short. Burleson to Scott for the out. Hard to believe, but the Red Sox only used 31 players in 1978 for the entire year. 31 players. Here's Thurman Munson. He's 2 for 3. Thurman has 2 singles and a run scored. Here's the pitch. There's a looper in the left, and that's a base hit. So Munson, on his last grand stage game at Fenway, is 3 for 4. Piniella 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Stanley, we won't let him linger long. He probably gets a runner in scoring position, and that's it. 2 2/3 solid innings of relief. Pinella, fly ball to right center. Rice into that tough sun, makes the catch. Munson goes back to first, 2 out. Reggie Jackson 1 for 2 with a walk and a single and an RBI. It'll be Burleson, Remy, and Rice in the 8th, with Yastrzemski hitting 4th. Really the Red Sox last best chance. Stanley's pitch. Jackson hits a fly ball again to right. Rice is there, and that does retire the side. No runs, a hit, and no errors. After 7.5, it's the Yankees 5, the Red Sox 2. So Burleson is 1 for 3. He had that double and that scored Brohammer and went to third on the bad throw by White. Guidry's only at 85 pitches. He could conceivably go all the way. The computer's treating this like an exhibition game. So it's probably Guidry's game. Pitch to Burleson. Struck him out. An 0-2 pitch was swung on and missed, strike 3. So that's 7 for Guidry. 7 in the third inning, 6 hits. 2 runs, both earned. He's walked 2 and struck out 7 and has 88 pitches through 28 batters. That's efficient. Here's Remy. Jerry's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Pitch to the Rem Dog is a ground ball left side. Dent makes a fantastic diving stop throw to first in time. So 2 out for Rice, who is 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. And then in the first, flew to deep left. Here's the pitch. There's a high fly ball to center. Rivers will drift back, and we go to the 9th. No runs, no hits, no errors. And the Yankees are 3 outs away from the American League East pennant. It'll be Nettles, Chambliss, and White for the Yankees here in the 9th. Craig is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Pitch from Stanley. There's a fly ball to center. Lynn should have it, and he does. 1 out. Here's Chambliss. Chris is 0 for 3, including a grounding into a double play. Stanley has done yeoman's work, but getting 2 runs was work off of Guidry. They still need 3 more if they're going to tie it. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to third. Brohammer over to Scott. Chambliss has speed, and Scott can't handle it. And so it's an E5. Are you kidding me? I mean, the only reason why Brohammer is in this game, that Don Zimmer put him in this game, was because he was a better defensive option than Hobson, who had an .893 fielding percentage. But Brohammer makes 2 errors in this playoff game. Here's Roy White. He's 0 for 3. That Sneeds has been coming for 3 innings. Here we go. Here's the pitch from Stanley. And White lines that into center for extra bases. That's a double. And so that'll be it for Stanley. The Red Sox will walk Fred Stanley, and then we'll make a pitching change. So Fred Stanley draws the intentional walk, and are you kidding? Here's Bucky Dent with the bases loaded. Dick Drago actually relieved Stanley in this game. Reggie Cleveland is not on the roster. Excuse me. And so Drago is going to be the pitcher. Dick went 4-4 in 78 with 7 saves and a .303 ERA. In 77 in the third innings, he allowed 71 hits, 5 home runs. He walked 32 and struck out 42. But right now, a 6-4-3 or some combination of that is what the Red Sox need. Bases loaded for the Yankees and 1 out. Red Sox need a double play. Pitch to Dent. is a fly ball to right. That will be deep enough to score Chambliss. Rice gets the catch. Chambliss will go. The throw home is not in time. There was a 2% chance of Rice throwing him out, and it's now 6-2. So a sac fly from Dent. Dent didn't get his homer in this game, but he did drive in two. Here's Mickey Rivers. It was 2 for 4. His 2-run shot in the fifth probably has given the Yankees the American League East. Drago's delivery is a fly ball to left. Yastrzemski is there, and that retires the side. Not before the Yankees get a big run and a hit on yet another Jack Brohammer error. After 8.5, it's the Yankees 6, the Red Sox 2. So, Carl Yastrzemski was the last out of the real game. He will lead off the ninth off of Guidry, with Fisk and Lynn to follow, and Hobson, who's 2 for 2. The Red Sox need 4. I don't think they're going to get it, but that's what they need. Pitch from Guidry is a fly ball to right. Piniella, 1 out. The wind has died. It's now out at 2 miles an hour, blowing out to left center field. And it doesn't get cooler during a day game at 68 degrees. So Carlton Fisk, as the fans kind of start to head for the exits, the Yankees need 2 outs for the division. Here's the pitch. Fisk grounds one back to Guidry, over to Chambliss. And the Red Sox are down to their last chance, and it's Freddie Lim. He is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Guidry at 99 pitches. And this would be his 25th win of the year. He delivers, and there's a ground ball to Dent. How fitting is that, over to Chambliss, and the Yankees have won the American League East. They beat the Red Sox 6-2. Well, it's not what any of us really wanted, but that's the case. So 2 hours and 22 minutes to play it. The recap goes like this. The Yankees scored 2 in the fourth. Lou Piniella singled to score Mickey Rivers, and then Reggie Jackson's ground out scored another run. It was 2-0 after 4. The Yankees made it 5-0 in the fifth. They sent 7 to the plate, highlighted by a Mickey Rivers 2-1 shot off of Mike Torres. Bucky Dillon also had an RBI single. The Red Sox scored 2 in the bottom of the fifth. Jack Brohammer's RBI grounder made it 5-1. Rick Burleson doubled home Brohammer to make it 5-2. And that was it. Griffey was as tough as nails. Bucky Dent had a sac fly in the ninth to make it 6-2. How fitting in the game that made him a household name that he drove into. Also had a web gem in there too. Thurman Munson 3 for 4. Mickey Rivers 2 for 5 with a homer, 2 RBI, and 2 runs. And Jack Brohammer 1 for 3 with 2 errors. So Ron Guidry, in his Cy Young performing year, 9 innings, he goes all the way, 9 innings, 2 runs, both earned, 6 hits. He walked 2 and struck out 7. Mike Torres, 4 2/3 innings, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, but I believe all 5 were charged to him. 6 hits, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. He left after the Rivers home run. Red Sox bullpen does great work. Only gave up the 1 unearned run in 5 1/3 innings. So you got to give Bob Staley credit. He did what he had to do, and Drago only faced the 2 batters. Your player of the game, well, they don't give one because it's an exhibition game, but we'll give it to Rivers. The home run really changed the complexion of the game and put the Red Sox in a case where they just could not catch the Yankees. All right, so you get me at the end of the game, and so yes, the Red Sox could not do any better 40 years later than they did on the real-life game of October 2nd, 1978. And it's strange, if you've watched any of my other replays, how sometimes real life kind of, what happened in the real game kind of rears into the replay. It comes into the replays a little bit. Dent obviously didn't homer, but his 2 RBIs were a big deal. And Mickey Rivers, who played his way out of town was the big hero for the Yankees. You got to wonder at this point if that had really happened, whether he would have been traded to Texas. Anyway, so that's it. The Yankees should have won the game. Excuse me. And they did win the game by the score of 5-2. And so they would go on to face the Kansas City Royals. They would beat the Royals and then beat the Los Angeles Dodgers in 6 games to win the 1978 World Series. A classic World Series that, game 1 was the rookie Bob Welch striking out Reggie Jackson with a chance for the Yankees to go ahead. And, of course, Jackson would take Welch deep in Game 6 of the 78 World Series. So that was the end of the brief Yankee dynasty. But that 78 team for New York was very good. And for the Red Sox, hey, they won 99 games. Until this year, that was the closest they had come since 46 to win 100. But they just, fortune of having to face Ron Guidry in a one-game playoff was just too much. Guidry pitched a good game in the real game in 78 and got the win. And they never even saw, in this replay game, they never saw Gossage, who would have just shut the door on them anyway. So the Red Sox were always in a rock and a hard place coming into a one-game playoff. But I got to give Bob Stanley credit. He pitched very well and kept the game within reach. So that's it for this first edition of Retro Sports Network Classics, the 78 American League East playoff game. Some of you have made requests, and so in this series, we're actually get on camera and talk before the actual event. We're going to do, the next one is going to be Merkel's Boner, the 1908 game between the Cubs and the New York Giants, which ended up in a tie because this bench player dropped a fly ball, allowing the tying run to score. And since there weren't any lights, they couldn't finish the game. And the Cubs ended up winning the National League by that margin. And also because someone wants to see me play more early 1970s football, we're going to do the Immaculate Reception game in the month of October. We're going to try to squeeze these around some playoff games and get them up for you. So if there's something you want to see, a certified classic from Retro Sports Network, let me know in the comments below, and we'll get it on. So as I said, the next two, Fred Merkel's Boner game from 1908, Dead Ball. Oh, yeah. Come on, Cat, get on camera. You know you don't want to. And no, don't do that. Don't do that. And the Immaculate Reception, coming sometime this month, which is when my wife, who's come home early, catches the cat from jumping on the TV, which she was about to do. No. It's the Raiders and the Steelers from 1972. Hit that like button and subscribe, and hope you enjoyed it. I did, even though you know how I feel about the team that won. I'm Ron Juckett for Retro Sports Network. We'll talk to you the next time.